Hi, it's Nørgaard. So today I'm doing a new get ready with me video, and I'm doing this look. It was just kind of what I felt like doing on the spot. So it's very dramatic, like very dramatic. But I like it. It definitely came together in the end. Like during the eye makeup process, I was kind of nervous about how it was all going to play out. But I think it turned out alright. I mean, it's very dramatic, but I think it works. So anyways, today I'm talking about my surgery. This is the first video I'm filming post-surgery. Can you believe it? It has been a month and a half where I haven't filmed any videos. So yeah, I'm back with a new tooth and a new white jaw and new dramatic makeup and stuff. So yeah, I'm just chatting while putting on this face of makeup. So if you like the look, if you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna do my eyes first today, but I'm going to prime first, I think. So, does my face look different? Today it has been 6 weeks and 2 days since I had my surgery. And by 6 weeks, it's basically where you go back to normal. Like after 6 weeks, you can eat regularly, like regular food, you can work out, stuff like that. And I had my final checkup at the hospital like 2 weeks ago, maybe a little less. And I'm gonna zoom you guys in a second, so we can do the eye makeup and also you can see my new front tooth. Okay, so this is how it's looking. I know it's looking... So you can see the fake tooth right there, and that was how big my gap was after my surgery. So yeah, it was a nice big old gap. So yeah, I think that's the main difference. So let me fill you guys in. I had the surgery 6 weeks and 2 days ago. I had the surgery right after I filmed my last Get Ready With Me. Like it was literally a few hours, or like, I don't know, 9 hours later. And I actually didn't really sleep at all that night before my surgery. I slept maybe half an hour. I was really nervous. Is that looking a little harsh? Well, it's gonna come together in the end, I hope. So after I filmed my videos, like I filmed a few hauls and I filmed the Get Ready With Me video talking about the surgery. So after that my boyfriend called me. He was out of the country at the time and he just told me what he had been up to and we prayed together. Then I went to bed, tried to sleep, could not. So I was just up playing Mario Kart, watching YouTube, you know, watching Netflix, trying to distract myself, see if I could fall asleep. But yeah, that wasn't happening really. So at 6 o'clock I got up, I had a shower, I had some juice, which is what I was supposed to do. And after that my parents came and we were on our way. So we had to be there at 7:15, it was very dark, I hadn't slept, I hadn't eaten. I was feeling, you know, pretty nervous. So my dad dropped us off and my mom stayed with me. And I remember after I got like my hospital clothes on and I was sitting in the like waiting area of like the surgery place, and I was thinking, I can still run. You know, I can still run out the door, I can still change my mind, I don't have to do this. Because, you know, I'm doing the surgery and the next surgery I'm going to have, the braces, all of that. I'm doing it mainly for cosmetic reasons. And I just remember thinking, if something happens to me during this surgery, which I'm doing out of vanity basically, I'm never gonna forgive myself. So I was just in there, you know, getting pretty worked up and nervous. And I was just praying like, please Lord, I don't want to die. Please keep me safe during this. Very dramatic. And I knew that I was most likely, like almost certainly going to be fine. Like the people that go through surgery and are not fine are usually if they're having surgery like emergency surgery, or if they're already very sick to begin with. And I believe I read online that like 1 in 100,000 people die. So, you know, it's very, very safe. So yeah, I've done my research, you know, maybe even too much research. But I just wanted to be aware of the risks. And at some point, a nurse must have come to get me. But I don't really remember it. So I must have been pretty nervous by then. However, I do remember like laying down on the operating table and they put the drop in my arm, the IV in my arm, which I'm not really like, I don't like needles. I don't like needles like going into me and being stuck in me. Okay, so I forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, I got on the operating table and I had some oxygen. Oh yeah, I got the IV put in, which is fine, you know, I knew it was coming. And I just like handed her my hand and was like, just do it. Oh, I don't want to see it. I don't want to know when it's happening. And like getting the drop put in is not that painful actually at all. It's just more the thought of having it stuck in my hand that I don't like. But you know, it was fine. My mom was still there. The guy who was going to do the operation was there. Who is the one who checks me. Like, I've met him many times before. And then the last thing I remember is getting the anesthesia. Is that how you say it? Anesthesia? I think so, but it sounds kind of weird. It sounds like a weird way to say Anastasia. But anyways, I got that and I felt like my whole body spinning almost. And like after 2 seconds of that spinning sensation, I, was out. So yeah, after that happened, then my mom went out of the room and they started the surgery, which I don't remember, which I am so thankful for. Like, thank goodness. I wasn't really that nervous about, being awake during the surgery, but there are horror stories. And the surgery was supposed to take about 3 hours, but it only took 2 hours. And yeah, the next thing I remember was being asked to move from the operating table to like one of the hospital beds, which apparently most people can't remember that. But yeah, I was, conscious during that stage. But of course I was still heavily sedated, so I was just gonna like, oh, move, okay. I wasn't really aware of what was happening. So yeah, that is the first thing that I remember after waking up. Oh shoot, I have to put on tape. So I was so nervous that I was going to be able to remember getting my tube put in and out. Like, that was also one of like my biggest concerns. But luckily I do not remember that. I am so grateful for that. I had my tube put through my nose because I had surgery like in my mouth. And I think my fear of like the tubes, it stems back from like when I was at the hospital when I was 13. It was actually after a suicide attempt. I had taken some pills and they had to get the pills out of my stomach. So they put the tube down in my stomach. And it is just something I will never forget. And I just, like, the thought of those tubes getting in me again, I was just so nervous, so scared. So yeah, I wasn't really loving thinking about that. But luckily, I don't remember it. But of course I could still see the marks after the tube. Like, I could see the marks and the blood. Like, I had a little bit of blood around my nose. And yeah, actually after the surgery, like immediately after, I felt pretty good. I wasn't in any pain. Of course I was still on, like, I had the IV giving me pain medication. And yeah, I'm just, waking up. It takes a little while for you to wake up after surgery. They let my mom come in and see me, and I was really happy to see my mom, and to to be done with it. And when my mom comes in and she sees me, my mom actually faints. Like, she's like dropping right down the ground, and then she has like, I think at one point there are like 3 nurses around her trying to help her. I mean, looking back at it, it was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, you know, my mom, she also barely had slept. She hadn't really eaten, and you know, she was pretty nervous on my behalf. So it was like when she saw me and the operation had went fine, everything was how it was supposed to be. I think it was like a release of all those emotions, and she just like, she fainted. But for me, I was actually getting a bit nervous over her fainting because I had just had surgery. I was expecting some blood, some swelling. I hadn't seen myself, so I was thinking she was fainting because I looked, you know. So I was getting nervous, you know, like I was wondering what the heck I looked like. Okay, so I had to focus on this cut crease, and now I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, my mom, she was fainting, and I was worried, you know, that I was looking all kinds of crazy. But it turned out that it was actually just because of, you know, my mom being overwhelmed. And I actually looked pretty normal right after surgery. I will insert some pictures so you can see. But yeah, after surgery, my entire lower half of my face was completely numb. I could not feel it whatsoever. Like basically from here down, couldn't feel it. Like till this day, I still have like decreased sensitivity in like my upper front teeth. It's not really bothersome. It's not something I, you know, notice a whole lot in my day-to-day life. Just like eating and stuff, I can feel it's not completely 100% back, my feeling. But yeah, right after surgery, everything was numb. And right after surgery, they want you to start like drinking different liquid foods and drinks. And I was okay with that because, girl, I was hella hungry. Like I hadn't eaten in forever. Because by then it was like the afternoon, and I hadn't eaten since 8 o'clock the following, or the night prior. So I had this little sippy cup with chocolate milk, and mind you, I could not feel my mouth. Like I could not feel my teeth, my lips, I could not feel most of my tongue. So it was really difficult drinking that chocolate milk. I had like to tip the sippy cup, and then like when it hit the back of my throat, that was when I had feelings still, and then I could like swallow it, but it was very difficult, and I spilled down myself so many times. Thankfully, I was not really in any pain. The only kind of pain I had was in my throat when I had to breathe in. It was fine breathing out, but breathing in hurt so bad. Okay, I'm gonna do the other eye and I will be back. Okay, so I did my other eye and I applied liquid liner, mascara and lashes. So now I'm going to do my base makeup. Okay, so I don't quite remember where I left off, but I think I was talking about my throat hurting. And my throat was really hurting after the surgery. For the first few hours, like maybe the first 4 hours, I was really just focusing on breathing. Luckily it went away after, you know, some hours. But yeah, getting a tube stuck down my throat, I have never enjoyed that, and I will never enjoy that. Oh my goodness. But that was the only kind of pain I had, you know, in regards to the operation. And I wasn't on any kind of special painkillers. I was just taking regular painkillers that you can buy at the store. And I was taking them, I think, 5 times a day. So spread out throughout the day. But they weren't anything special. They were just regular old painkillers. However, I did end up being in so much pain afterwards. Because afterwards I had to start whitening my jaw myself. I have my brace up here, and I had to use a little screwdriver, and then the brace would start to whiten my jaw. And I had to do that 4 times a day. Like I think a week after the operation I started doing it. And at first it was fine, There were no problems. I did it 4 times a day. But I think like after a week or so, it started hurting so bad. Like I started being in so much pain just constantly. So it was just painful 24/7, and it was not just painful, you know, in like my jaw area. It made me feel like just really weak. Like if I would stand up, I was going to faint. I remember I went to church one Sunday, and I think it was, you know, it was on Monday I started using the screw, the whitening my jaw, and then on Sunday I just couldn't take it anymore. You know how you stand up for the worship? I had to sit down because I was getting so faint. I was about to pass out. So actually my mom called the hospital, and I got some morphine pills prescribed, and I went down to only using the screw twice a day. But yeah, as soon as I stopped whitening my jaw, I felt better. But yeah, since then I haven't had any pain, and even though I went down to only doing the whitening twice a day, I still managed to get the gap that I needed to get. And then the fake tooth was put in. Since then I haven't really been doing anything regarding my teeth. Like right now, it's still in the healing process. So I have my next appointment with my dentist on the 7th of January, I think. So until then I just have to wear the brace at the roof of my mouth. I have to wear the fake tooth, and I have to wear these fake braces. The braces were basically just put in to hold the fake tooth and make it look a little more like normal. And I believe on the 7th that I am going to get the brace in the roof of my mouth removed, and I'm going to get regular like braces on the top and bottom. And I'm really looking forward to that because it's just really difficult. It's not really difficult, but it is kind of bothersome to eat with this big brace at the roof of my mouth. So I am basically back to eating normally now. I'm not really eating super like crunchy food, or you know, just super hard food in general. But that's not really my favorite type of foods either, so it's fine by me. And yeah, I eat normally now. And I have been eating normally for the past maybe week and a half, 2 weeks almost. But like for the first month after your surgery, you definitely will not be able to eat anything really that you have to chew. It will be liquid, liquid, liquid. And yeah, as you could imagine, that gets boring real quick. And I remember like maybe a week or 2 after the operation, I was begging my mom to let me try and eat a sausage because I wanted meat so bad. Because it's really hard to find liquid meat, you know? So I was basically a vegetarian for more or less a month. But yeah, about 2 weeks in, I tried to eat that sausage, and it was just not happening. Like I cut out a tiny piece and put it in my mouth, and then what? Like I could not chew it at all. Like as soon as my teeth just clasped down on it, it was like I could feel I was not gonna do that. And my mom told me, you're not gonna be able to do that, but I was just like, just let me try. But yeah, I was definitely not able to eat that. And yeah, what else can I tell you guys about? Of course, I'm really happy that the surgery went as well as it did. Everything has been going according to plan. I have been right on time with my healing. Last time I went to the hospital and got checked, everything was fine. I had really good oral hygiene. The jaw is not loose anymore. I mean, it still needs a little more time to heal, but it's not loose, so that's good. Oh yeah, I can tell you guys about the swelling. So I started swelling up, I think maybe the night, like maybe 12 hours after the surgery. My swelling wasn't crazy. And if you watched my previous Get Ready With Me, you know that I took a pill against the swelling. And that did really help. The swelling continued up until recently actually. Like I would wake up every morning pretty swollen. And yeah, that's perfectly normal. And I wasn't really too concerned because it would always go away when I've been up for a bit, so it wasn't a huge problem for me. I didn't really experience any bleeding. I had some blood in my nose, but that was from the surgery. I did also get some bruises. Not only did I have my upper jaw whitened, I also had all 4 of my wisdom teeth removed. So like right here and here I had big old bruises. And I had to go to class because I had some classes that I couldn't miss. And that was, I believe, 10 days after my surgery. And that was the time where the bruises had started to be very visible. Like that was when they were at their worst. So yeah, I went to class looking kind of like I got beaten up. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. Also, I still have like a little bit of trouble swallowing. So I still make that noise. It has gotten better. I mean, I got it under control more. But because of the brace in the roof of my mouth, it's still hard for me. So especially if I'm around people that don't know that I've gotten surgery, I try to not do it. But sometimes you just can't help it. Like 2 days ago I went to the gym for the first time since the surgery. So I have gotten a little out of shape, right? So I was breathing pretty heavily and I could just feel that I had to do the sound or else I was going to choke. So I had to do it at the gym. I tried to like do it as quietly as possible, but on the other hand I also didn't want to choke on my own spit and die at the gym. So I mean, I had to do what I had to do. So yeah, as I said, I went to the gym for the first time 2 days ago, and by then it had been well, exactly 6 weeks, which is how long you're supposed to wait until you go back to the gym. But that's just for the gym. Like if you play on a team, like if you play basketball or if you play football or handball or something like that, you have to wait a lot longer, because if someone hits you in your face, it's not gonna be good. And yeah, I don't play any sports like that. I'm not on any teams. I used to play handball for 6 years, but that was a long time ago. And yeah, going to the gym went fine. I've also, you know, I've just been doing my day-to-day life for like the past 2 weeks or so, where I've been out, you know, I've been doing stuff. And I probably could have went to the gym, you know, after 4 weeks probably, but I took advantage of the fact that I couldn't go for 6 weeks. But yeah, I'm still mindful of what I do. Like, I don't go ice skating. I remember right after I had the surgery, I was even scared to go out the house. Like, I was just scared that I was gonna trip and hit my face on the ground or something. Like, totally ridiculous, but I was really nervous that was gonna happen. Like, I was afraid someone was gonna bump into me. You know, I was, so yeah, it was really ridiculous, but I was nervous that someone was gonna bust my face wide open. And you know, that was also kind of how I was feeling going to the gym. I was like, what if I fall on the treadmill? Yeah, that has happened to me before. I have fallen on the treadmill before. So I don't put that past myself. But of course you have to go out there and live your life. You can't hide in your house forever. So I told myself it was going to be fine, and it was fine. And yeah, what else? In about half a year from now, I'm going to have my second surgery. So this surgery was to whiten my jaw, and this next surgery will be to push my upper jaw forward and my lower jaw backwards. And that is a longer surgery. It's a bigger surgery. I believe it's about 6 or 7 hours. And likewise, like the recovery time is longer. But I'm actually looking forward to it. Okay, so let me rephrase that. How can I say that in a way that doesn't sound super weird? Like, I'm not looking forward to getting my face cut up again, but I am looking forward to like moving on with the process. You know, I'm taking this whole thing very seriously. I'm very determined. I'm really looking forward to getting braces. I'm really looking forward to getting the roof brace off. I'm feeling really grateful and thankful that I'm able to do this. And yeah, you can already see how much bigger like the upper jaw, like the upper teeth are compared to the lower teeth. like it's a big difference. Of course my teeth still needs to be straightened out, but I mean that's already a huge difference. Oh yeah, and I want to thank you guys for all your sweet comments on the previous video about this topic. I want to thank you for your prayers and your well wishes. I'm doing really good. I was getting a bit delayed in my project work for my university, you know, my exam. But I knew that was going to happen, and I knew I had to put in some more work at like the end of the project writing process. So I was prepared for that, and I was, you know, ready for that. And I handed in my project. I think it turned out pretty fine, so I hope it's going to be fine. And yeah, I'm more or less completely caught up on my studies. And yeah, as I said, I was able to go to class when I had to, like after the 10 days. Which was so good, because it was one of those classes that if you didn't show up for 80% of the classes, you had to do a written exam. And knowing I had to do these other written assignments, I was just like, please let me go to this class so I don't have to do that. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you see a difference in my face? I feel like I can see a difference from this side of my face, which is my bad side. It's just a little more proportional like this side is. But yeah, I can't wait to get my chin tucked in a little bit, like just pushed back a tiny bit, because it is pretty protruding. Like I was looking at my profile the other day, like in the mirror, and I was really noticing how far out my chin really is. And I mean that can be kind of hard to notice yourself because you don't see yourself from your profile. So the only time you'll see yourself is if you will see yourself in a picture that's taken from the side, or if you're like with like a mirror into a mirror, you know what I'm saying? Like you're trying to look at your profile. But yeah, I was like looking at my chin and I was like, wow, my chin is like popping out. So yeah, I can't wait to get that pushed back a bit. I think that will also definitely help with this side of my face and how that looks. But yeah, it's still so crazy to me because on one hand, I didn't think my problem was that bad, you know. I was like 2 operations to fix this. But on the other hand, I have always known that, you know, when I got my filler, I got it to like even out my face, make it look better from this side. But I knew it had something to do with like my bone structure in my skull. But I didn't even know that it was possible to fix that. Like I didn't know you could actually do anything about that. Like it's amazing what you can do nowadays, it really is. Okay, so I finished off with the lip and I straightened my hair. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys liked it. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this update. If you have any further questions, you can leave them down below and I will answer them. And again, I want to say thank you for your prayers and your well wishes. It means a lot to me and I'm doing really good, so thank you. So should we do a zoom in so you guys can see the makeup up close? Maybe? Let's do that. Oh, it's a little dark. So this is the makeup. Okay, anyways, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. You can click the bell to get post notifications. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. So take care and bye bye.